Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday, and you already know what we do on Tuesdays. We go deep into our favorite show, and right now it is The Boys, and I am loving every minute of it, and I am loving going through it with my people with me here today to run it through. Oh, wow, that's been a minute. Right now it is hello, hello, hello. Ain't that a son of a bitch? What's good, fandom? What are you getting into today? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling Stormfront. Episode 3, then episode 4, I'm like, fuck Stormfront.
Oh man, I've been suspect on Stormfront ever since she showed her face. How about you, AK? How you feeling today? Uh-oh.
She muted.
She muted.
Motherfucker. Talk about rookie mistakes. Oh man, yo, I've been feeling the same, man. As soon as I saw her walk on the screen, even the first time I looked at it, I just all side eye. That's all she was worth. And then it got worse, and I was like, okay, yeah. And it's gonna get worse. Oi.
It's gonna keep getting worse. Oh man, we're just gonna get right into it. The Boys Season 2, Episode 3. This one's called Over the Hill with the Swords of 1,000 Men. And I gotta say, one thing I wasn't really feeling about this episode was the Billy Joel, like the second wind tie-in. Like that seemed a little forced to me. How about you, BDM?
Nah, I enjoyed it.
You like that? You like them trying to tie that in? You're my second wind. That didn't feel forced at all?
Nah, because as it was going, I'm like, is Huey gonna die this season? If so, boom, that would be great. Just seeing Huey die, and then start like, here's that voice message. I'm like, I love it.
Oh man, that's too crazy. We see Huey's not in a good place, and I like the fact that they addressed that punt situation right out of the gate. Like Butcher needed to apologize, and he did in a timely manner. We were talking about that last time, AK. Were you happy they got that out of the way right away?
Yeah. Poor baby Huey. Huey just needs a hug. he needs help coping. He really does. Poor baby.
Oh, you gotta feel sorry for Petite Huey. I love my guy. Mallory brought up a new soup, Liberty, but didn't say much about her. She's obviously going to be playing a big role at some point this season. But Mallory also brings up the fact that the target is the girl's brother and wonders if that could compromise things. Like, how could it not? Like, fandom, like, why would Kokomo or Komiko let them hand over her brother and not fight? Like, how is she going to just let that happen?
I was saying the same thing, but back in the previous episode, it's like she knew he was just way too far gone.
That's just too much. I mean, could you hand over a family member, AK, like that?
If it was absolutely necessary, yes. Like this is like the zombie apocalypse equation for me. Y'all know I love my tiny humans, but if one of them gets bit and they start coming after the group, they getting a bullet right between the eyes. Sometimes you have to make that hard decision, and that's what Kumiko actually did. She's the one that made it possible for them to even bring him in.
Yeah, and they were fighting, but I mean, it took Frenchie a little bit of time to like get through to Komiko. It's like, wouldn't it just take a little bit of time to like deprogram her brother as well? Like, they don't want to take the time; they just want to hand him over because basically it's a trade-off for Butcher's wife and Mother's Milk's family, and to get rid of the kids. So Komiko's got to give up her family for these two to get theirs, fandom.
That's what it is right now. They're desperate. Like, what else are they going to be waiting for? They really have an opportunity right here and there. You take it now before something effed up happens.
You let Kumiko get in there and you let her continue to keep getting in his head, because even though he doesn't show it that much, you can see those sparks where he's listening to her a little bit. They could have flipped him. Worst case scenario, they flip him and then use him for their own ends. I don't know.
Man, I don't know. It's tight. Like these two,
It's heavy though.
They saw their parents murdered together. They only had each other to rely on when they were captured in that camp. They stole food for each other. I mean,
that's why she's the only one that could actually get him to talk down. And she was having issues with that. But I think eventually, if they had him in the right facility, they definitely could have deprogrammed him.
Yeah, it's just, man, to be that tight and just give him up, because he's right. I mean, he was right. They're going to torture me. They're going to do awful things to me. And she's like, oh, I'll save you. I'll be there. How? You're not even going to be around. How are you going to stop them from torturing them? Like, I didn't get any of that. But Komiko really did give Butcher a glare. Like, does she understand more than she lets on when Butcher is like, oh, she's a problem, I'll neutralize her? When she came down them stairs, she gave old boy a look like, come at me, bro. Like, what's up, fandom? Is she already knowing a little bit more than she's letting on?
Maybe.
think so. What do you think, AK? Does she understand English more than she's done?
I think she absolutely understands English, and it wasn't, just exactly what Busher had. I think it was more put on her because she heard what he said, and she made sure to give him that look like, bruh, I understand what the situation is, but you come from my brother again, like you did, I'm gonna have to come at your throat.
I mean, we know she understands English because she'd be able to watching TV left and right. So she's got to be understanding some of what she's saying.
That look was just because she needed Billy to know that, bro, I'm watching you just as much as you watching me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, she's not going to be there to be able to save her brother. I don't know how you just send him over for torture. She's not going to be there to save him. So why not let him go? Like, if she really wanted to protect him, like she's saying, she would have cut him loose, I think. But yeah, that's a
sticky situation.
It really is. So A-Train's going to be able to kick the habit and go full-blown like, what do you think? What's up with A-Train fandom? Is he going to be able to kick this habit, or is he going full-blown Compound A junkie by the end of the season?
Junkie, and it seems to be getting way worse than it is.
Oh, what's up? AK, do you think the Compound A will actually kill him by the end of the season, maybe? Oh, wait, you've already I can't ask you that.
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't remember if it does. I do know he's about to start having a very hard time, a little bit along the same lines as the Deep. And he really just needs to calm the fuck down. It's that entitlement and cockiness that's getting him. We saw it in season 1, and look where it ended up here. And Starlight has been playing his ass to the left and been like 3 moves ahead in Wizard's chess at everything he tries to come at her with. And he's not learning the lesson.
That's true, but I kind of feel him a little bit like the only people who talk like that are the ones who've had money. So he's coming from a place of never having anything. He's finally on top and has it all, and he's just trying to keep it. He's not trying to let go.
But he's been on top. But he's been on top for how long now? How many years has he been in the 7?
It doesn't matter how long. When you're on top, you don't ever want to not be on top.
Well, no, see, and I feel you on that. But the way he's playing the Game of Thrones is not just work. It's not working right now. He's not on the sustainable path, and he's failing to see that. But he gonna get hit with a rude reality real soon.
He's got to figure it out a little bit quicker. Homelander's just made himself all right at home at Becca's house. Like he was mad though when her son started speaking Spanish. Like this is gonna be a problem.
What's wrong with speaking Spanish? I was like, come on now. But since he doesn't know, it ain't gonna cut it.
He mad because he ain't the star of the show. That's all it is. He wants to be the only thing that little boy is looking at, and little boy keep giving him the side eye like, bruh, that's my mom. I need you to not.
Absolutely. But Homelander is all American everything, and he's not trying to hear anything but American.
To the absolute fullest.
Even when I go to the desert, they speak perfect American. I'm like, I didn't know American was the language, but it's like, yeah, my man is all up on the USA tip.
And you called it right. He is all American.
Mm-hmm. But when she was pouring that syrup and he was like, yes, please, and then like side-eyed her and like, a little more, like just to be a dick. I was like, oh man, I'd be like finding a mad scientist real quick to recreate something to take this bastard down. How about you?
Some type of acid that can get thrown in his face and just cancel him.
I mean, what do you do in that situation, fandom? You got this man that can't be beat by anything, just telling you what to do in your own home. Like, oh,
just pretty much create something that can defeat him at this point, which I'm hoping Vought actually does have something.
I almost think they have some. What's up, Jake Cruz? I see you out there. Good to see you. Like I said, man, this Mr. Stan Edgar is just a little too cocky. He's got to have an ace up his sleeve. Like, he has never shied down from, like, just getting right in Homelander's face and letting him know what's what.
Yeah, how smooth is Giancarlo in that role, man? He is knocking it out the park.
Every role. He's amazing. But that dipshit pitching the trailer for the 7, just getting sat down by Stormfront, that was pretty sweet. She's like, you take all the seats with the way you're portraying women. Like,
I'm gonna give her a little bit of shine on that. Yeah, she called that shit correctly, and he didn't know how to take it.
That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic.
Which is pretty much just like a riff from Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
And even like looking at the icon, I'm like, wait a minute. It's pretty much like verbatim what this is.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know they're always going to go back and touch on each other. Before the pitch meeting, Ashley gets a text, and the news was broke about Compound V and that the soups are just actually made and not created, or created and not born. And Ashley's freaking out because she doesn't know where Homelander is, and Mr. Edgar doesn't seem worried. Like I said, I still feel he has an ace up his sleeve. Like he himself may have a special power at this point, or something like that.
You really think so?
I do. I think he's going to end up. I think he has to have some kind of power. You just can't stand in Homelander's face with no fear like he does and not have something. Like he's got to have some kind of backup plan.
I honestly don't remember exactly what it is, but I'm with you. I feel like he does have something up his sleeve. I mean, there's one thing I can think of, but that doesn't necessarily come into play with him. It really, he just got that freaking machismo, man. He is going off the strength that, bitch, I am in charge. I am the HNIBC. And that's just what it's going to be, you know?
Hey, he said, I ain't afraid of nothing.
He ain't scared. Homelander, bro, you're not my number one product. Sit down.
That was just too crazy. So the rest of the soups are super shook. Like even Black Noir is in tears. Like Deep's not happy knowing he could have been normal. Like everybody's messed up. And isn't that screwed? Like you think you're special and born this way, and just to come to find out your parents just sold you off as a lab rat. Like how you know you're gonna be feeling some kind of way, aren't you, fandom?
I'm surprised that the freaking Black Noir was crying.
Son,
I was like, hold up, of all people just be crying about the news, the Black Noir,
the most hardcore motherfucker on the team. Okay, I know Homelander is the leader, but no, Black Noir is that guy. Y'all gonna see. And this man was reduced to sitting on the floor and in tears. There's nothing good happening when a grown-ass man is crying, sitting on the floor like that.
Especially one like that fears us nothing.
Exactly. Like, what could he possibly ever have to cry over? This bullshit right here.
Oh, man. And we hear Dr. Vogelbaum has had a strange accident and is now paralyzed. And after hearing this, will Homelander go back and finish the job on him, you think? Now that he knows Dr.
he's
Vogelbaum?
still alive.
Me too. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they said that. He's like, oh, he's paralyzed. I was like, Homelander did a job on him. I'm like, but after now hearing what he truly did, I think he might end up going back and finishing the job. What do you think, Phantom?
Either that or they're lying about the news report. Then he actually is dead, but they're just saying he's like quote unquote paralyzed.
I don't see why they do that. I think he is paralyzed. I think he's out, and I think he's about to be.
I think Homelander will want him to suffer, and that's why he paralyzed him versus just killing him.
Could be.
I could be wrong on that though.
No, it could be. That makes sense. Like, you made me suffer, I'm about to make you suffer. Live like this for a minute. I feel that. But the news is breaking worldwide, and our crew is ecstatic. Like, Frenchie even gives Huey a smack right dab on the lips. Like, Mother's milk was quick. Like, no, go down.
Frenchie came through with the being French, man. That's what them European dudes do. It's never a thing. They see their best friends, they kiss them full on the mouth, hug. That's just their culture.
Oh, that was a thing. I was like, I would have been just like Mother's Milk. Like, hey, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, just give me some depth. That's all right. We're good.
I would have been quick on that jaw. Like, hold up, homie. I don't know where them lips have been. I see how you living. But Billy didn't seem so thrilled. Like, what was his problem? Is it because he thinks this may jeopardize the deal he had in place to get his wife back? Like, what was his problem, Phantom?
The whole thing was, okay, that's done. But we still have this terrorist in this freaking boat right now. So we will celebrate later, which I do agree with him.
I feel that. You feel that too, AK? Because Butcher was being a dick, but he wasn't wrong. They were still sitting on top of a very dangerous situation.
Technically, yes, they were still in a very precarious situation. But I think Huey called it right. He's jealous that he wasn't able to do that. And Mother Milk called him out too. Like, yo, we've been at this shit for years. The kid only been here a couple months. And even though we've had some misfires on what's going down, look at the shit him and old girl just did. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for. Why are you not happy? Why are you being a dick to him?
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just his ego. He wanted to be the one to have that shine, and it didn't work out that way.
It could have been. I think it's a touch of both. I think they're both right. Absolutely. I think he had a little hater, but he did realize, like, hey, we ain't through the woods yet. Let's not start popping bottles yet. We ain't home yet.
I do feel him on that point, though. He does have a point for sure.
And when Homelander had his son up there on the roof and said it's time, and then put his hand on Ryan's back all lovey-dovey, I was like, oh, this kid is getting shoved. Like, was there any doubt, AK?
It was so obvious. It was so obvious. And that poor baby, he does not want a damn thing to do with Homelander. And it's not even that Homelander's there. It's just his freaking approach to the situation. Like, can you try a little bit more to be normal? No. And then maybe the kid will want to sit and watch some cartoons with you. Maybe go to the park and actually be seen with you. The way you acting right now, bruh. That's why the kid keeps giving him the side eye and playing him to the left. Like, nah, I don't think I can do this. And then what's Homelander going to do? Pushed him off the thing and knocked his ass out for a little bit because he wasn't even moving for a couple minutes when Becca came outside. Like, what the fuck, dude?
He was out cold. Like, speaking of cartoons, he looked like a cartoon. He was like, what? He
just stood there like, oh, well, that didn't turn out the way I thought it would. What the fuck are you talking about, Homelander?
It was just like 20 feet. I'm like, bro, he could have died.
Did you like think for a second he had any chance of flying, fandom?
Nope, not at all.
That's not how it works. Even Neo couldn't jump the building the first time. Nah, that's not how it works.
I was crying when they showed him just laid out on the ground. Like, I was done. I was like, oh man, you are.
Oh my god, he's such an idiot.
Oh man. But on the flip side, Homelander did find a way to bring out those powers. Like, what a heartless asshole. But he's like, he got Ryan mad enough to pop them powers loose. He's like, I hate you. Go away. Like, Homelander just acts like it's no big deal. Like, is this going to grow to be an invincible type situation between Homelander and his son?
Nah, the way at least how it started, not really. Because, like, you compare the two, like, dang, I forgot. Well, we get Mark. There we go. Mark. I almost forgot his name. Like, he was like open to it and he was happy and glad. But here, then it like switched over. But for here, he just in contempt. Like, he just does not like Homelander. Like, he was able to call him dad like one time, but that's probably like the only time now.
Oh, well, let's hope I didn't see the One True David Adams shit, man. One True David Adams. Good to see you. Always. Hope everything's well with you. Oh, man. Frenchie heads back in to ask a favor of Kenji, and like, how did he think he was going to react? Like, Frenchie was a dick, like giving him just a quick sip and then pulling that drink back. I was like, that was even cruel, kind of leaving the drink and chips there in eyesight, wasn't it, AK?
Absolutely. And if Frenchie would have been on the up and up, for a hot second, you thought Frenchie was going to be going the right path, actually trying to help him and talk to him and whatnot. And then he, let that nonsense cockiness get to him. And he made the mistake of leaving that can in there. Like, bro, did you not see he is telekinetic of like the highest form? He could probably fuck Jean Grey up right now with all the shit. He literally just pulled a whole building down on y'all. What are you doing here? Use your head.
And he only did that with one finger.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
What's wrong with you? Don't leave this kid any chance to come at you.
No, that's just danger zone. What are you thinking? And of course, all the Soup's parents are denying the allegations. Like, would you want to punish your parents if you found out they were lying, or would you just get past it? What do you think? What would you do, fandom?
I'll be pissed though, because again, we hear about the tests that they did on humans. It's pretty much when they were like babies. I'm like, really? You just pretty much gave it up to chance. Like, who knows what side effects that could have had as a baby at that.
Exactly, and look how messed up the Deep got. I mean, also he got things he didn't want. He would rather be normal than have these powers and have gills growing out of his stomach. So it's like, how would you feel about that, AK?
I would absolutely be pissed. I mean, honestly, taking the Deep into consideration, I still can't feel sorry for him. I really can't. He's still
at least when he was a kid, he first got those powers.
When he was a kid, maybe.
He was constantly hearing these freaking goldfish and lobsters and stuff just like begging for the
lives. No, see, and that's understandable, but then you still grew up to be this much of a dick. So I still don't feel bad for him. If it was me personally, I would probably go like no contact and just live my life with my powers and try to do what I can do to get the bag and make as much money and be happy as possible.
Can't be mad at that. And Homelander is sneaky as shit. The way he like snuck in on Queen Maeve, like he can seemingly hear for miles with supersonic hearing, but somehow still isn't aware that the news is broke about all this shit. I was a little off by that.
I mean, he was in his feels about his son, so I give him like reason like why he wasn't like pay attention to the news and crisis and whatnot.
I mean, they have a TV though. They were watching. I think there was maybe
actually no.
They have scenes. Don't they have a TV?
No, because old girl said she's not allowed to watch the news when she was talking to Billy later.
Oh yeah. You're right. Shit.
Well, yeah,
I mean, that's still weird that he wouldn't want to have something in place that he would keep apprised of the situations happening when he's not there. But then again, Homelander really ain't as smart as he thinks he is. So
that's true. He could have heard the neighbor, like the way we saw his hearing last episode. He could have listened in on the neighbor's news. Like that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But what the hell was Billy thinking? Like stealing a boat with wanted fugitives? I mean, hell, he's a wanted fugitive. That didn't seem smart to me. I was like, what? You're smarter than this, Billy. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Out here stealing boats in the middle of the day and thinking that's not going to get called in? Oh, boy, come on. That was a lot.
Couldn't agree more.
That was crazy.
And then when the cops come, all of that kerfluffle happens and they end up dead. Billy, bro, do you understand the issues that Huey has with you and your leadership now? Are you seeing the irony of this young, fresh-ass kid coming in and telling you, bruh, cut the bullshit?
No, not at all, because he said that wasn't my fault. That's exactly
he's literally he's the regular human Homelander sometimes, and I don't think he sees that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Even with Obeka telling him, he still couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
she called his ass out.
Yeah, and also what didn't seem real smart about that was Huey throwing that life preserver overboard. Like that had the name on it.
What the hell was that going to do, Huey? I understand you having the good heart that you do. I understand you trying to hold on to your innocence. But what the hell did you really think that one little buoy was going to do? And there wasn't even barely any debris that came to the surface. That whole thing got shut the fuck down. Those people have already drowned. Your little buoy ain't going to do shit.
And then when the crash gets investigated, they might find
the fingerprints
and the murder on them. Mm-hmm. Like you're just now going to get pinned with the murder of all these NYPD cops because you gave them the what they need. I was like,
you just left all that evidence. You know, good job, Huey. Good job.
What are you thinking? And while the Deep, what's that, Phantom?
No, I wasn't saying nothing. I think it was AK.
But while the Deep's losing it, Carol comes in and says, now's the time to rejoin the Seven. It has so been deemed by the leader of the church. And I was like, I can't wait to see where this goes. Because this whole thing.
I thought it was too soon. I'm like, already? Like, I thought it was going to be like near the end of the season where he like rejoins back into the Seven. But I'm like, okay, episode 3. Here we go, I guess.
They've been doping him up with them frescas. So, you know, it's time for him to join the cult full-fledged, man. It's lightweight. It's lightweight freaking Jonestown the way that shit run, man. It's oof. Y'all got some shit in store. That's all I'm gonna say. No spoilers.
Oh, that's awesome. Bot stocks are crashing and the media is looking for blood, and still Mr. Edgar is just calm as a cucumber. You can't tell me this man don't have an ace up his sleeve, Phantom.
I mean, he pretty much does. It seems like he was the one who even probably secured the whole terrorist. And I think they did explain it, right? Or was it a coup inside Vault, whatever?
Yeah,
the whole terrorist. So it's like that's what he was waiting for.
Didn't what's her name? Allie with an eye. She figured it out. It was Homelander that did that.
Yeah, so it was like it was just waiting for like the right moment, and Edgar probably knew about it. So he was pretty much just waiting for the moment where okay, once we get this to, let's capture, do something. So in case of a crisis like this happens, we're covered. Because literally within that whole meeting, like he had his like eyes set on that terrorist too.
Yeah. And that's why he was chosen to take that position after Homelander killed Allie, because he has all of the balls, you know, so to speak, and he just don't give a fuck. He has a business to run and money to make, so he's always prepared.
And that's why I question why the hell he put Stormfront in the 7. I need to know why. I need to know now.
Yeah, especially
no. I'm gonna leave you with that angst. You will find out.
Oh, man,
4 more episodes. I'm supposed to watch 2 more episodes this weekend. I don't know, DJ.
You will find out.
Right?
I'm holding on. I'm holding on.
It's hard not to go past that 2nd episode. It really is.
Are you kidding me? I'm slow to that remote. Like, do I need to just see a little? Like, nope. I was like, let me just turn my eyes and turn it off. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know exactly how hard it is. I'm dying to watch these next steps. Like, nope, 2 at a time. Oh, man, but I think Jay Cruz has it right. Like, Homelander isn't smart, so maybe that's why
no, he isn't.
He's not so afraid of him, because he knows he can just outthink him and outplay him at every move.
Facts. Homelander only knows how to think with his muscles and sometimes with his dick, and that's it.
Were you guys thinking at all, like when those cops did find the crew out there in the middle of the ocean like that, it was coincidence, or were you thinking maybe like Mallory might have been pulling a double cross like Agent Raynor did? Like the way she ended that call with "Please be careful," that kind of wasn't like her. That was a little off. I don't know. It wasn't in her character. So I was like, is she gonna double cross Billy?
Wasn't that part of the plan? Like they had to take the kids somewhere. And from how Mallory was talking, it seemed like, the cops showing up there, that was the drop-off point. Like maybe they might have checked the boat or gave them some, random stupid warrant to come in there, but then they would take the kid and that would be the drop-off. They go back to Mallory. At least that's the gist that I got. I could be wrong, but it seemed like they had there on purpose.
The CIA was supposed to come out and grab the kid, and they were going to do the transfer, and then they were going to swap. They were going to give them the kid, and then they'd get their lives back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they just tasked that one group of the cops to go through and do it.
The LAPD to do
get their hands dirty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they were the middlemen.
Yeah, them cops just kind of seemed like they were out there.
They were extra as fuck, though. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, no, we're out here for this stolen boat, and this is about to be a problem. And yeah, I just thought that whole thing was crazy. Like when that happened, I was like, did Mallory just give these guys up? Did she just go rain around them? Like they had me thinking all kinds of ways.
See, like what would she gain from that though?
Oh, shit.
That's why I don't think it was her, trying to double cross him. It's just
they got everybody on the planet looking for these people. Like if Mallory can get back in or get a boost up or get somebody,
she's trying to get back in though. Nah,
maybe she just wants somebody off her ass. Like people are starting to come down on her. Mm-hmm. That's why she's like, I don't want back in. You're going to get me killed after all that. They already killed my grandkids. I'm going to end up dead.
Maybe, yeah, that could be.
You give up Billy to get them off of her. I mean, who knows? I don't know. You know me. I'm looking at all angles.
Right, there's a whole bunch of what ifs in there. Yeah.
But Huey's still desperately trying to connect with Annie, and he seems like he's a step away from falling off the deep end. Like
Huey's so thirsty.
Oh, were you worried for him, fandom?
Yep. This whole episode, I'm like, will he die? Will he not die? Will he die? Will he not die?
Oh, he was pushing it.
Yeah. My guy thought that it was a good idea to sit inside the rotting corpse of a whale. And just stay there. Like, what did you think you were going to do in there, Huey?
Oh, man. Mr. Edgar doesn't seem like a man who takes slights lightly. Like the way Homelander talked to him in that meeting and the way they kind of were trying to push him to the side, you think he's going to make Homelander pay for stepping out of line with the family? What do you think, AK?
Oh, so I think something is definitely going to go down. Like he makes me, the way he acts sometimes makes me remember the character that he played as the Magic Mirror on Once Upon a Time. He's like an elephant. He remembers everything. And if you piss him off at the wrong damn time, he is going to hold on to that in his file and pull it out just at the moment that is correct to fuck with you when karma comes back around. He's not an adversary you want to think lightly of.
Oh, hell no. So our crew's only a mile away from shore, but it looks like they may not make it. The deep is back in action. And if those sharks busted through the big boat, I would have been hella leery about getting on that little boat. How about you, Phantom?
Yep. Because even then, it was just crazy how they just came out of nowhere. And I was really questioning. I'm like, are these sharks who just happen to be here, or is the deep controlling them? And then Pop comes to deep. I'm like, really? Like he's really back in the freaking 7? Yep. That was like really like if they just attack that big boat and it's sinking, and not afraid it's gonna attack the little boat.
I would have been freaking out.
Why not take the boat out altogether? Why beach the whale? You made the whale go up on the beach, so it couldn't move the way it should be able to move. And you didn't think that Billy was crazy enough to do what the fuck he did? Have you not been paying attention? The Deep did not understand the assignment at all. You stop a damn boat while it's still in the water and your fish friends and whale friends can still live. You made a target of that. It's like the damn dolphin thing all over again.
The dolphin, the lobster.
Like, bro, you keep making the wrong decisions, my guy. Stop it.
Every mammal you try to save ends up dead and just
every one of them.
It's the worst. That's awesome. Jake says, I think everybody involved would want to kill Homelander if they could. Yeah, I think everybody would love to, but nobody knows how to take him out, so they all just have to bow down, and that's why everybody hates him so much.
Not even that. Nobody's really strong enough to take him down, except maybe about 2 or 3 people.
I think Starlight. I think in the end we're gonna find out Starlight is every bit as strong as him. I think
just you watch. Just you keep watching.
We haven't seen her yet. I think she's gonna end up being one of the most powerful ones.
I do remember her storyline. Yeah, y'all gonna be in for some treats.
But that poor whale, yeah, that look on the Deep's face when he was posing all cocky, and then all of a sudden he sees him about to be rammed. He's like, dude, that's
like, bro, how did you think that was a good idea? A sea creature is strongest in the sea.
Yeah, that was amazing.
What?
That was amazing. That was purely for the Hollywood of it all, but I'm so glad they did it because that was just a great scene. And again, Huey just one more inch to the brink, laying there in whale guts, like you said, just about to quit, and the crew refuses to leave him. Like, my man, Mother's Milk is the man. He's like, oh, you staying here? I'm staying here.
He is.
That was awesome.
He is. And he knew he didn't have to say more than one sentence. He just sat there, and eventually Huey would be like, well, fuck, I can't let you die in here because of me, so I'm going to get up.
You're one of us.
Mother's Milk left too, yep.
One for all for one. Let's get it, son.
Facts.
So the crew make their way into the tunnels, but the Canary is looking like he may not make it. And wouldn't you have taken like a quick dip into the ocean, like instead of just walking straight into those tunnels with all them whale guts on you? Like, wouldn't you want to rinse off a little bit, fandom?
Hell no. You got the 7 coming after me? I would not bother. You know, when I'm safe and sound in my own comfort of some type of house or bunk, whatever, then by all means, I'll take some type of quick shower or even a bird bath. But nope. The 7 is after me. I ain't taking no chances.
I kind of disagree. I mean, not only do they have like heightened strength and, you know, heightened hearing, but they also have a heightened sense of smell. So it's not going to take more than, you know, 3-4 minutes to just roll around in the surf. You're right there. You're not far away from the water. Roll around and then cut through the tunnel and keep moving. Don't have a damn breakdown like Huey did and hold the line up. Just keep going.
I couldn't do it, man. I'd have been in that water.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Much off. That was disgusting. I was like, how did you guys not take? You're right there in an ocean. Just take a quick dip. I mean, one quick dip.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I couldn't do it. But the 7, or should I say 6, show up, and the Deep say they're in the tunnels. And I was like, what a great way to like save on set design. Like, let's just have all our characters go in these tunnels real quick. That's all I was thinking about that. I was like, they went to save some money here. They must have blown that budget on the Deep riding that whale. That was amazing. But I didn't realize on the first watch through what a big deal it was for Stormfront to cut Homelander off. Like when he went to talk to Starlight and talking Starlight down from wanting them all the Deep right then and there. She was stepping on toes. Like she has plans on being the new leader of the 7, doesn't she, AK?
She doesn't want to be the new leader, at least from how I'm seeing it. What she does want to do, though, is disrupt all of that shit and be an agent of chaos. That is the real crux of how she functions. And again, like I said earlier, all I can tell y'all is stay tuned because it's going to be a whole lot of shit with her storyline. You'll see what I'm talking about very soon.
Is that what it is, fandom? Is she just going Loki on them all?
Great.
Well, disrespect Loki's name like that. No.
Hey, you said chaos.
I said chaos. I didn't say Loki. That's 2 completely different things. You stop that right now.
Hey, Loki is chaos. He's the god of chaos.
Okay, but he ain't in this fandom, though.
Oh, man. A-Train's using his speed, but it seems like at a cost. Is he going to give himself a heart attack, fandom?
Most definitely. I'm just waiting for the heart attack to happen at this point.
Like that heart's about to blow up. You know it's coming.
And then Homelander is pretty much just turned right a corner. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually just saw it like happening. Then he's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." I'm like, "No, he's not. Your days are numbered."
And Homelander can read right through you. Like he can read your specs. He knows when your heart beats up. He knows when your pulse is racing. He knows all that. So yeah, you can't hide that from him. And if you knew the soups were right behind you, would you just tuck around a little corner like Huey did? I'm like, I would be going until my legs wouldn't go no more. I was like, what was that about, AK?
Huey just stay in his brain, man. That innocence that he don't want to let go of. Like, bro, this is not new to you. Okay, you know exactly what these people can do. What are you sitting here having this breakdown for? I get it. I understand. You have a little bit of PTSD. You got some trauma going on, but you also need to get the fuck out of Dodge right now. Yeah, so suck it up, get to someplace safe, and then have your sit down.
Yep. And lucky for Huey, it was only Annie, like, or maybe not so lucky as Huey's like Homelander was there too and tells her to kill him, like, kill him or I'll kill you both. Were you worried for our man Huey, fandom?
Oh, I was. At one point, I was like, okay, he's going to die here. She's going to go and get that cell phone, hear that message, and be like, damn. That was like the second win, and I actually just killed him. And that would pretty much motivate her to try to, like, go on a path to killing Homelander. It would have been like Starlight and Butcher trying to kill Homelander, but no.
That would be a cool direction. I like that. But Starlight gave Huey that look like, sorry, I got no choice. Do you think she was really going to kill him, AK?
No, not at all. Starlight has been exceptionally good at playing the game of superhero thrones. You know, it's kind of like what Melina said to Tasha in Black Widow. Don't let them take your heart. She's in the game. She sees all the dirt and grit, but she's still able to stay true to herself. She wasn't going to kill Huey. She might have maybe maimed him a little bit just to get Homelander off her back, but I don't think she could ever bring herself to kill someone on order like that.
Well, speaking of loyalty, Huey finally gets the acceptance and loyalty he was yearning for when Butcher puts his ass on the line to save him. And when it looked like Starlight was going to fry him up, Billy, like Billy always said he would, Billy jumped in and gave it up and saved our boy. So, boy, Billy got lots of props from everybody on that one. And then Kenji drops an avenue on Homelander, then bounces through the new made hole. Like, I was like, damn, son, I didn't know you had it like that. And
a literal fucking avenue.
Oh, he was getting it. But they stopped at the wrong place to remind each other like how much love they have each other. I was like, oh my God. Because right then Stormfront says, hey guys, and just blows them through a building. I was like,
yo, Stormfront came through like fucking Miss Minutes with the hey y'all. Like, Stormfront, please leave me alone. Please go away with your racist ass. I don't have time for you right now.
Right? Because then we see Stormfront as every bit the sociopath that Homelander is. That she like needlessly just killing civilians along the way, like chasing Kenji and his sister, but just going out of her way to kill these other people. And then we find out later why. I was like, oh shit, Stormfront's about them. We're about to find some.
That's why I said pay attention to her storyline, man, because it gets worse.
It's crazy. And then the way Stormfront was like crushing through that building, like we see why Vought says their collateral damage is going to be upward of 30%. Like they're just throwing guys through the window for simply standing in the stairwell at the wrong time. But then again, we found out later, no, that's not just the only reason why.
It's like, no, it's not. Yep.
This bitch is evil. And then Kenji had gotten away, but then he came back to save his sister, like which made it more bitter. Like when she said, "Open your eyes. I like to see the lights go out." I was like, she's actually sicker than Homelander. I mean, is it not enough that she's a total sociopath? They had to make her a racist too? What's up with this woman, fandom?
Don't like her. This was the episode where I was like, dang. Barbie did. But then this episode, I'm like, come on now. Come on. They're going this far. She's pretty much like a woman version of Homelander, but a little bit worse. Even in that whole apartment complex, she was killing civilians. I'm like, why are you killing civilians for no reason?
Yep. And then we found out, didn't we, AK, why she was doing it?
Yo, son, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's my boy name? Dominique Noble. He did a whole Harry Potter series, and his thing when he was talking about all the characters, Azkaban, everybody. Starlight needs to fucking go to Amsterdam, Azkaban, and be done. Like the shit that she has done. It's
Starlight or Stormfront.
This Stormfront. This is just a drop in the bucket. As heavy as all those people is that she killed, how many apartments she destroyed, it's going to get worse. And when you see what really her deal is and her full backstory, oh boy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can already feel it coming. And Homelander's not happy at all. Like, he wanted that kill. Do they have, like, the Dexter syndrome? Do these, like, superheroes need to kill people to stay tuned and function?
I wouldn't say that's the Dexter syndrome. If any of these superheroes were put on trial, maybe with the exception of Maeve and Starlight, they would get a guilty from me. Dexter would get not guilty. I feel like that's a public service, man. You getting rid of the motherfuckers that the cops can't.
Whoa.
He only goes after criminals that the cops can't catch, man. I cannot fault the man for that, okay? He's going after the pedophiles and the rapists and all of them that forensics loses the evidence on, or they don't interpret shit correctly and these people get off. Those are the motherfuckers that Dexter is killing. That's a public service.
Oh, you can't be mad at that. What's up, Iron Sean? I see you out there. Welcome back. Welcome back. Who were those people at the end? Like, were those the people that used to live in that building that Stormfront just destroyed, fandom? The ones that were helping out in the...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I believe so.
Crazy. And of course, Vought uses this opportunity to spin the narrative in their favor as Mr. Edgar denies any prior knowledge of Compound V, then diligently blames it all on Allie with an eye. I was like, oh, you already knew they weren't going to take a hit. Like,
Edgar is playing the Game of Thrones, man. He's good at it.
Terrible, terrible. And then our crew got away, but still feel defeated as they lost Kenji. And I still didn't see how that was going to work with Kamiko. Like, was she really just going to hand him over? Like, that still bugs me. But now as Edgar is like turning Stormfront into America's newest hero, our crew and mainly Komiko have like nothing but hate in their hearts and revenge on the mind. Like, you can already see it's doing. This is going to get good. All but Huey, though, he seemed to like grown an appreciation for Billy now that he saw that he was willing to put his life on the line for him. Like, it seems like he finally forgiven him. Is that true, Phantom?
Yeah, because that was like the whole thing with season 1. Like, the moment they needed him, he vanished, like the Avatar. Well, even though Avatar wasn't his fault. But this time around, he was there for him.
Oh, man. AK, has Huey seen the light? Like, now that he's seen what Butcher was talking about, when it comes down to it, the soups will always turn on you, but you can always count on your crew. Is that the way of it?
No, I think Huey sees a little bit more of what reality actually is. He's coming out of his bubble, but he ends up keeping his heart. You know, there's still a part of him that's going to turn into this, you know, ruthless, go for your throat asshole sometimes, but he isn't going to let that ruin good things when he sees good things, if that makes sense.
Oh, man. Homelander wants to fry Stormfront's eyes out right then and there on camera, and Kamiko wants to claw them out themselves. Like, you think one of these two will get their wish by the end of the season, Phantom?
I really hope that Kamiko actually kills Stormfront. I really do. She has the strength to do so, even though Stormfront could be stronger and could possibly kill her. She can just regenerate back. So, who knows how this is going to go down?
All in all, I thought this was a great third episode. What'd you think, Phantom?
Oh, hell yeah, I enjoyed how this third episode. Episode 4, it's like, yeah, it was okay. It's not terrible, but it was okay.
Oh, man, 2 quick trivia questions. If you know the answers, write them down below. If you're in the chat, write them in the chat. Who is the leader of the cult/church? What's the name of the leader of the cult/church?
Fucking pedophile bastard.
And question number 2, what is the name of the church the Deep just joined?
It's a cult, not a church.
What is the name of the cult the Deep just joined? You know those answers, write them down below.
Man, yo, if Frenchie wouldn't have been there though, Kumiko would have. Well, no, she got a few hits in.
Oh, that's
but Stormfront would have. I think she'd have caught them hands though.
Well, we're going to roll right into it. The Boys Season 2, Episode 4, Nothing Like It in the World. And this week opens up with what seems like an 80s dating site interview. Like, the lady says communication is what's most important in the relationship. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, did you know what was happening right out of the way, Phantom?
Hell no. I'm like, when they keep on having throughout the episode, I'm like, what's this for? What's this for? What's this for? Oh, so the Diva's trying to get married. All right.
That was just, yeah, I know. But that was a trip all the way through the episode. I was like, what is this they keep flashing to? That's out of control. Oh, man, but we then jump to the franchise stand, like high as, Frenchie's trying to stay high as a kite, and he seems to be in a worse place than Huey was last episode. Like, is he about to lose his shit, AK?
Frenchie's battling with his conscience a lot right now. And, you know, he understands the job and what needs to be done, but we're only human. You know, there's still just so much he can take before a person breaks, and that's where Frenchie is right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Frenchie didn't communicate well. Kamiko was looking for her shoulders cry on, and Frenchie's drugged up ass just got all the signals crossed up. What was he thinking? Trying to kiss her right then? It's like, dude.
Like, bro, she literally just saw her brother die, my guy. What are you doing?
That was insane.
Like, Frenchie, I get it because he thirsty. He been thirsty for a little while now, and Kumiko is feeling him too. But this was just not the right time, my guy.
Timing is everything, and you were off, homie. The Homelander's getting madder by the day watching Stormfront steal his thunder. Like, why is he letting her get away with this, fandom? Like, he has no problem threatening the rest of the team, but he's letting Stormfront get away with this?
I'm telling you, it's the situation with him and his kid. He's off his damn groove.
Oh, that was just ridiculous.
I have nothing else to add to that. That is exactly what it is.
Messed up. And then we get a wig splitter. Homelander stops at a home that we haven't seen yet, and then who lives there? None other than who? Allie with an eye is still alive? I was like, is this a flashback? Like, what were you doing when you saw this, fandom?
Yo, the Caminos, they put up a contract with Vault. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, you're like, what? They got a clone up in here? Were you tripping on that, AK?
I was like, wait a motherfucking minute. Hold on now. All of the side eye was going like, nah, something's fishy here. This is not possible. It's not possible.
I thought
and they showed us what it was, and I was like, okay, well, shit, I could see how that. I mean, they kind of gave us the breadcrumbs already because, Starlight's homeboy that was, getting his limbs cut off for money. There's soups out there that do random shit for that, so it makes sense, but it's still creepy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Mallory wasn't double-crossing Butcher. Even after failing to come through, she hooked him up with that was what he desired most, Becca's address. And she also told him to send Mother's Milk to go check up on this Liberty situation. And I was like, and like I said, like I was mad. I was like, when you said that you left breadcrumbs, I was like, really? How did I not see that?
I told you.
Madeline, it was Doppelganger. Was like, of course it's Doppelganger. Like, I was mad that one got by me. I was tripping. But Butcher sucks for like cutting out on his crew again. Like, isn't this the one time you might have to give him a pass though? Like, I don't know. I was so mixed up about this. Like, Mother's Milk gave up everything for this. Gave up his everything, and Billy's just gonna cut and run because he can get his girl back. Like, but
he still ain't seen his daughter yet in months now.
I was so torn on that. How are you feeling, Phantom?
Same thing. I was like, when does a Mother's Milk get his time?
Right, and Mother's Milk really is a genuine dude, man. Like him and Frenchie, I get they're criminals, but they're criminals with hearts of gold. Okay, they're not really for the killing motherfuckers. They're in this game doing the shit they do because it's a retaliation against things that have been done to them. So I can understand that. And Billy is kind of in that category too, but Billy's really such a dick at how he handles things. Sometimes it's kind of hard to feel for him when he gets himself in these predicaments, and then he just lashes out at everybody else around him. It's not cool.
Mother's Milk called it too. He's like, either way, he ain't coming back. Like, he knew either he's going to get killed trying to save Becca and bounce, or he's going to just leave and save her and get gone. Like, regardless, he is not coming back. So why even lie about it?
Exactly. Yeah, just like you said. Yeah, Mother's Milk called it.
And he knew, like, when that elevator door was closing, you just knew you were going to see a red glove come sliding through and stop. It did not disappoint. Homelander feels it's time to have a little follow-up conversation with Starlight, and I so want to see these two butt heads. Like, I swear when it comes down to it, she's going to end up being stronger. I mean, am I just crazy?
It's coming. It's coming. Like I said, no spoilers, because there's actually just a vague few pinpoints that I remember for this season, but just stay tuned.
Halfway
so, I think you're crazy, DJ. I don't see it yet.
You don't see it? How scary would that be, though, to be stuck in an elevator with a psycho like Homelander? Like, I mean, dude.
Bro. I mean, I was so worried for Starlight. Seriously, I thought she might actually be dead after that. But then again, when you look at how Starlight has been playing A-Train from the beginning, she said the exact thing that Homelander needed to hear. And that's why he walked off like, okay, you're not lying. And he walked away because she wasn't.
Yeah, no, she knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing the game, that poor tech girl is constantly getting bullied by these soups. Like, working in this place would just suck.
Oh, her and Ashley. I feel bad. It's like they working for the TVA.
Oh, man. Yeah, right? I mean, it's just nothing nice working in there. And it looks like Black Noir is personally going after Butcher. Like, is Butcher actually going to end up taking out Black Noir by the end of the season, Phantom?
Hell no. Like Black Noir, he has to go against Kimiko again, or someone else got to take Compound V in this group. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you think one of our
they don't stand a chance. This pretty much went up against a super terrorist that exploded.
Oh, shit.
Still couldn't take it.
Yeah.
That's kind of sweet.
I agree with that. I got nothing else to add. I agree with that.
Starlight gets a hold of Huey and admits she could have killed him. And, like, did she just admit that she actually would have killed him on Homelander's orders, AK?
No, I don't think that was it. Like I said earlier, I think she would have maybe hurt him to where it looked like, you know, he was going to die, so then she could get Homelander away from him. But no, she wouldn't have killed him outright.
Homelander can see when your heart's
Starlight's heart is too good for that.
I don't know. I think she was about to take his ass out. She's like, "It's me or you. You gotta go. It's either both of us or just you. See ya." Huey finally gets Starlight to call him back, and he's instantly gonna bail on her. Like, he does not deserve this woman, does he?
Bro.
I mean,
that's all you got to say.
Pretty much.
That is just terrible.
I mean, I agree.
Like, she finally calls you back, gonna give you yet another chance that you didn't deserve, and now you're just instantly gonna leave the second you get a phone call. I was like, you do not deserve this woman.
Yo, if you want to be with any woman in the 7, then you want Starlight or you want Maeve. Everybody else, fuck the rest of them because they own some bullshit. Those two, though, they actually know what's up. They have hearts of gold. And if you are in their hearts, they will fight for you day in and day out every time. No questions asked.
Give me the girl whose eyes glow every time she had orgasms. Oh, man, that's amazing. Are you kidding me?
Son, that's like an exact tell of how you know you actually hit it right. I mean, that's the feeling you get from that alone.
Right?
That's perfect.
That's what I'm saying. And at least he was smart enough to turn back around and bring her with her. But I was like, Huey, you got some work to do, because as smooth as he is, he's a moron. But A-Train sees Shockwave at Vought's Towers, and he just loses it. And by it, I mean everything. Homelander says he's out of the 7.
Yep.
He knows about his heart, and that it's like he's not even one of the top 20 fastest anymore. They didn't let us know that until just now. I was like, that was kind of crazy.
Yo, A-Train got to get it together. He really do. Like, I mean, he didn't learn the lesson when Starlight punked him. He thought he was in control, and Starlight played his ass like a fiddle. And he deserved it because he's been fucking up since episode 1. And he's still on that entitled bullshit right now. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like he's just like the Deep. He needed to be brought down a couple pegs to actually fully appreciate what he is.
How touching was that speech Homelander gave A-Train as he was showing his ass to the door, like, hey, we'll always be friends, etc., etc. Like, he couldn't be bothered to fake no emotion. I was like,
Homelander is such a dick.
Oh, that was so ruthless. I was like, were you feeling that, or were you feeling bad for A-Train, fandom?
I wasn't feeling bad for him at all. It's like, what do you expect from him? And it's kind of sad because A-Train pretty much killed his girl on Homeland's orders. Yeah. And this is what he pretty much did, just threw you out like yesterday's trash.
Oh, man, that was just ruthless. Like, you see that billboard? That baby you abort might be a soup. I was like, that sign's a little outdated now. Like, everybody knows that you're not born with it. I was like, they're gonna have to change that. I thought that was a weird little spot they put in. That was crazy. How'd you like the carpool karaoke that they had going on there? Like, Eminem wasn't feeling it. Were you feeling it, fandom?
I was feeling it.
You like that scene?
I try like the highlights out of the episode. But guys, I do have to go. Before I go, 2 things. One, I'm happy to find out what actually motivated Mother's Milk into joining this ragtag team, because he pretty much had like a wife and daughter. I'm like, you really gonna jeopardize it? But then you find out that his father was pretty much killed by Vought. So I'm like, okay, so that's what kind of like motivated you into this. That and Stormfront.
That's kind of crazy. And the one thing that I wanted to ask you, fandom, before you go is, why would Stan Edgar put somebody like Stormfront in the 7?
Exactly, because I'm pretty sure he learned about Lady Liberty. And I'm like, bro, she's racist. Really? Come on now, bro. Come on now.
That makes no sense. That's a big.
Not only is she racist, but she's like from old school Germany racist.
How old is she? Like in her 70s or so? But I don't know, with all these soups in the Compound V.
You're gonna see. No, they'll give you the exact information you're looking for in the next coming episodes. You'll see.
Also, AK, I was talking to a DJ about this earlier before we got on. When she was revealing that whole thing about Stormfront, did you not expect her head to explode?
No.
I did.
I'm thinking about to the original time I watched this, and no. And even more so now that I know who it is that's doing that, absolute not.
Okay, all right.
When you find out who it is, everything's going to pop into place and it's going to make sense.
Copy. Well, till next time, y'all.
All right, yes. Travel safe, man. Have a good night at work. Man, 1-1, did you run off somewhere? Okay, I thought it was just taking a hit, but apparently he's doing a little more now. So anyway, Jake Ion, I mean, how do you guys feel about the show? We are like 4 episodes in now. We've got, I think, 2, maybe 3 more eps. Is that what it is, DJ?
Yep, we're halfway through the season. That's so funny. I was sitting there talking to you. I was like, how come she's not answering? And I look on, I'm still on mute.
Yeah,
like,
you were muted, sir.
I was like, what the hell? That's so funny. Oh my God. But I was saying, like, speaking of billboards, like, did you see the side of that barn with Homelander's cape as a Confederate flag? Like,
yeah, and you know what? I don't think, well, no, actually they did know that is very on point, because that is the America that Homelander is really looking at. And when you see how his future interactions with Stormlight come together, again, it's gonna just make so much sense that that's happening. And if it's, I mean, it's already real as hell right now. It's about to get even more real.
Oh man! And then we're back to the '80s tape interviews, and I was like, where are we going with this? Like, I almost thought they were trying to hook up Homelander with.
No, we're going back to the cult. Back to the cult.
Ripping on that. And then when Billy snuck into the Vought compound, like, I thought sure he'd get about 10 steps in and all the floodlights would come on and he'd be busted, but nay, he actually made it over, no sweat. I was kind of tripping on that.
You would think apparently they don't know what actual security is, because as much as this man's face has been plastered everywhere, how do you not have a facial recognition camera watching your doors and entrances and stuff to know when he comes in?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. And then Frenchie, high and horny as hell, has to head back over to Sharif for a little booty call. Like, at least he got a pep talk, but I was crying about that.
I mean, see, that's what I was telling y'all last time. Like, there's no thing with the two of them. Like, she knows he's into Kumiko, and she don't care. You know, you come down, we do our thing. If you got some issues, I got some advice for you. Go off and be happy, and that's it. And I love her character for that. I honestly wish she was in the show more.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Really cool.
But Frenchie's got a little one-way thing going there, because he's like, yeah, you can anybody, but the second she said, like, how do you know I'm alone? Like,
right. You saw how mad he got? Man, I wanted to jump through the screen like Frenchie. Bro, you cannot get mad. You know what it is. You leave your fucking jealous ass feelings out of it. Stop it right now. You don't get to do that when you half in love with Kumiko. You've been running with her for like the past 2 months. And you haven't even come to see this girl. You don't get to say who's around her. Cut that out.
Oh, that was classic. And that's so how it would be, too.
It really is. It really is. I hate to admit it, but yeah, that's always how it is.
So our crew stop off for a bite to eat, and Starlight and Eminem finally get a little bonding time so he won't hate her so much. And she almost blows it, though. Like, when they step outside and see that car wreck, like, she has to be reminded that this is no time to be a hero.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad she listened, though. Yes. I do totally understand the vibe that she was on, because if you see something like that and you have the power to do it, you know, if you're a naturally good human, you do want to go and help. But for the situation that they're in right now, you can't draw attention to yourself like that. So you got to keep it pushing. You got to put that out your mind. It sucks, but you can't go help right there.
Oh, man. Billy makes it to Becca, and true love is reunited. He finally found her, but I'd be like, you got some explaining to do. Like, we got some talking to do. But they try to have to. What's that?
I say, yeah. I mean, they definitely have some talking to do.
They got a lot of things to figure out. And then they try to hatch a plan, but right away, Billy just wants Becca, and he was like, oh yeah, the kid. And when Becca said he wasn't strong enough to make it over the wall, like, this might become a problem. Like, you could see it early on.
Yo, I mean, and I don't even think really it was about the strength of him making over the wall. I mean, she called him out on it. He doesn't want that kid there at all. Eventually, he would, let him come to appease her, but eventually he would find a way to get rid of that kid. And that's another one of those flaws in Billy's character that I cannot forgive. That kid didn't do shit to you, dude. I don't care if he has the same powers of the guy that you hate. That kid is innocent in all of this. It's fucking Catelyn and Jon Snow all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave that baby alone, okay?
Right? And on the road, Huey gets 2 rooms and says, of course, he'll be staying with Mother's Milk, but we already know it ain't going down like that.
Nope, not at all. Now, there's only 2 rooms, so I'll be bunking with Eminem. And Eminem was like, cool. And he knows exactly what the fuck's gonna happen. That's why he just went to sleep. He know Hugh ain't gonna stay there.
Yep. And as Hugh's laying there listening to Eminem snore, like he finally gets the text he was hoping for. Let's eat some candy. His milk is OCD. I was like, is that going to come into play later?
You know what he is, and I actually have forgotten that little tidbit about him. I can't think off the top of my head whether it's going to come back, but it's interesting to see that because I have some of those same minor OCD things about myself and how I work. It's interesting to see. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that.
Hell yeah. And I do have to give it up for a nerd. Huey really does have a silver tongue with the ladies. Like, I don't know how he's so smooth, but he figures it out.
For who?
That's like his superpower.
Who'd you say?
Huey.
He's surprisingly. Like, you would not think Huey has the game that he does, but yo, he is good at getting these hot chicks and making them fall in love with him, and not even just fall in love, but making them stay, because Starlight has every reason to walk away from him. Every reason to walk away from him, but she still stays. The boy got a silver tongue.
And speaking of good with the ladies, it looks like Becca hasn't been with anybody in decades, so she wasted no time the next time she hooked up with Becca. With her. You already know it's smash time.
Can you blame her?
No.
Not at all. Look, we are adults and we have needs. She has been raising this boy for a decade by herself and has not known the touch of anyone but maybe a hug from him, and that ain't what she's looking for in the bedroom. So I don't blame her not one bit.
No, you already knew it was coming.
Now,
I couldn't believe they waited that long. Shit, I thought maybe on the first time it would have.
The first time, right? I'm surprised they waited until she came back. Like, how did you not get a quickie in the first time?
Exactly. Oh, classic. But while they're talking, Billy's taking all the blame for not being there for her. And I was like, she kind of bounced on you, homie. Like, I don't know. He was seeing that a little sideways, in my opinion.
I honestly think they were both seeing it sideways. I mean, they literally were both victims in this, okay? She, and if I know you and fandom were debating on this the last couple episodes, but do you think that she was actually assaulted now? Because I always thought so. And the more that they told in the stories these past 2 episodes that we watched, I think that solidifies it more. She didn't want what the hell happened. But it did. And she went to Voss once she found out she was pregnant because she knew she couldn't go to Billy with that.
Oh, exactly.
And she had to make a decision to, take care of this kid. And I don't blame her for the decision she made. Billy would have done something to get rid of the kid as a fetus if he had known. So I feel her going off like this, but again, it does still hurt for both of them. They're both victims in this.
Yeah, that look in her eyes said she was holding something back. Like, she's happy to see him, but she knew she was never going to be able to leave with him.
And she called him out on his bullshit. And that's probably why he married her, because she has that character to not let him get away with the fuck shit.
Yeah, he's saving him from himself.
Yep.
So Mother Milk gives Huey that look like he knew exactly what went down last night. Like, they weren't fooling anybody. What do you expect? Mother Milk is the only one in this show not getting any love, and I don't like it.
Son! And he's such a good dude,
right?
He has not been cheating on the wifey at all. This dude probably hasn't even jerked off in his bed. Like, for real. That's just the type of guy he is.
My man, he's putting it in. But then we flash to Homelander and Queef Maeve on a talk show, and Homelander catches her by surprise by outing her live on TV and telling the world about her girlfriend, name, race, the whole nine. I was like, what a dick move! Like, Queen Maeve was just scared for Elena, and as well she should be.
Yo, when that part happened, I had the same vibes now, even though I knew it was coming from when I watched it the first time. As a proud member of the Rainbow family, I want to kick him so hard in the dick that he would feel that shit for the next 50 years. Like, bro, you just don't do that, especially when Maeve knows the type of person you are. You know damn well she is not trying to be on that nonsense. And not only did you put her on Front Street, but you automatically let her know that her baby girl is now in danger. There's a huge target on her back, and that is what she was trying to avoid. Yeah, none of that needed to be out at all. He just needed to deflect attention from himself for a while, and that's the route he chose. And that's really
such a psychopath. Like, Queen Maeve couldn't really tell if he was being real with her or not. Like, you think he was truly happy for her, or
not at all? No,
some awful way by the end of the season.
Maeve called that shit correctly when she was talking to Elena in the second episode.
Exactly.
I knew that if he knew about you, you would die, and I could not handle that, so I left. Exactly. That's why they broke up.
Yeah, and this is going to be a problem.
Because Elena's sexy as hell. Who the fuck will leave her?
Right? Exactly.
Maeve ain't blind.
Well, Queen Maeve, she is a star, but yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Why is Stormfront so vocal against Vought, who is obviously still footing the bill?
I told you she's an agent of chaos. Because you know how she's acting. You know, you've seen a small glimpse of her backstory in episode 4. So this chaos that she's bringing in right now, she's basically just trying to create, you know, the division in the 7, and she's doing that effectively behind the scenes with A-Train. And she's going to do it even more. And she just pay attention to what she does. It comes out to be a whole lot more than you're even seeing it go right now.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And yeah, Jake Cruz is right. He was definitely threatening her. There's no way.
Yeah, he was
happy for anybody. That was definitely. Yeah.
He isn't happy for a damn thing. Even though him and Maeve have broken up and have been broken up for years now, he still wants all that attention. Yeah, if you take attention away from Homelander, that's why he has issues with Stormfront. Then he's
not getting love. He's not getting any love. He doesn't want anybody else getting any love.
Yep.
Kimiko is ready to jump Stormfront, but lucky Frenchie gets there just in time to save her for doing something stupid. And you think Frenchie's going to help Kimiko come up with a plan to kill Stormfront?
I
mean, they may not get through.
I don't quite remember, but exactly. Yeah, so that's why I'm looking forward to watching it again. What I do remember though is that whole "Girls Get It Done" slogan, and compare that to the A-Force team up in the Marvel Endgame movie. Is going to be a hell of a final battle. Wow, is all I can say. Yeah, some good shit coming.
So the rest of our crew reached the address to find out more about Liberty, and she, of course, doesn't want to talk, but Mother's Milk breaks down a story and gets them through the door. And we hear the story about how Supes have been racist and killing innocent people for almost 50 years. It's like, while she was telling that story, weren't you half expecting, like we were talking earlier, you never thought her head was going to blow up like Agent Raynors did?
No, right there, I did not. I really didn't.
Done. I was so ready for it. I thought for sure that was going to
happen. No, I mean, because if they wanted that to happen, then they would have shown some type of breadcrumbs that there were bugs, you know, like in her house somewhere when they were listening in. They didn't do any of that. So it just and she purposely like tried to turn them away. It did took a lot from Mother's Milk for her to let them in. So I knew something was coming, but what they did explain once she got done telling her story, I did not see that shit coming.
Oh, that was crazy. And then we got another huge crazy deal. Yeah, because Stormfront is Liberty, and it looks like she found the Fountain of Youth.
And she is over 100 years old. It's her powers.
Or is Stormfront maybe Liberty's daughter and just looks like her? It was dark and raining that night when she saw her.
Nope. And I feel comfortable saying that just because they've already shown that in 4. No, it's her.
Yeah, exactly. And Homelander's at the tower looking at all the memes. He's had enough. Like, it's time to go pay a visit to the Stormfront. He's finally ready to just fry her, but she gets all psychological on him, and to calm the glowing eyes, she gets in his head.
See, this is the season where you see Homelander get fucked with to the utmost. And when it comes to the two of them, you're not even going to believe the turn that it takes. And I'm waiting for them episodes because I really want to see how you and fandom react to it.
Oh, man. Stormfront tells Homelander he needs to change with the times. Like, God knows I did. So it's like, boom, I guess right there she just let us know she is the original Liberty.
She ain't telling us the truth.
It was looking like Stormfront wanted some of that all-American beef. Like, did she want Homelander to just take her right then and there? Like, she said the door is always open for
anything. Keep watching. Like, oh, keep watching.
So then Becca shows up without Ryan and says that she's not leaving with Butcher. And how crazy was he thinking that Becca's going to actually leave her son? Like, she already left you once for him. She's obviously going to pick him again. Like any decent.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Homelander, it's down to his ego and his dickishness. Dude, that is her son. Whether you are that boy's father or not, you know, it doesn't matter. She's not going to leave her kid. And I can't blame Becca for that.
It's like, yeah, Butcher, she already bounced on you once because of the kid. Why do you think
Exactly.
now that she spent 10 years with the living him, you think she's going to change her mind now? Hell no.
Right.
What were you thinking?
And that's what she said. Look, I know you. I know at any point coming up, you will find a way to get rid of him. And I am not doing that. And really, again, I say fuck you to Billy because, yo, if you really love her that much, then you're going to deal with this, okay? That may not be your kid, but it's her kid. And you supposedly love her so much. You need to not hold a grudge against the child for just being born. That kid didn't ask to be here.
Absolutely. I think Iron Stone might have it right too. I think Stormfront.
No, don't you dare sully Quaith's good name like that. Nah. As many issues as I have with Quaith and her damn riddles, no, she is not Stormfront. Do not compare the two. Stop it.
And once he called him a soup freak, that was a wrap. Like, we did get a huge answer though. Like, I was cool that she did let us know that she actually was raped, so we got that big one answered. But she went to Vought, not Butcher. Like, that was ruthless, knowing the warpath it would send him down. Like, I don't know, that was kind of vicious of her.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. She called it right though. I mean, look at how she, he broke down here. He was trying to hide the shit. She saw right through it and called him out on it, and then he said, random superhero freak, bro. That's my kid. That's my kid. I don't care about the other nonsense. I don't like the dad. No, he can stay away. But that's my baby boy, and he's not going anywhere without me. Yeah. And I can't. And again, I can't fault her for that. She wants to take care of her child, and that's what she should be doing. Billy needs to get over that shit.
Speaking of Billy getting over shit, I saw him jump that fence and instantly start running. So when did he supposedly stop to flip off the camera?
See, yeah, I was wondering that too. Like, that was really, really freaking random.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, this is some Hollywood trope bullshit.
Right, like I need y'all to edit that a little better next time.
Right? Like, give us a pause or a cutaway or something. But I saw that, man.
Something.
That never happened.
Don't show me boots hitting the grass and taking off running, and this dude just standing there flipping the camera off.
Right? That was too damn Hollywood. But either way, Black Noir is about to be hot on his tail. Like, I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, yo, Black Noir, man. It's a little different with him in the comics and the show from what I've read, but it's still a very interesting twist.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that goes down. Well, Huey broke down Starlight's heart once, so it's only fair that she got to break his. Like, she says they can't see each other anymore. And I was like, oh, poor petite Huey. Like, that was sad. And then again, Starlight doesn't even wear a mask. How the hell is she out there in the streets with nobody noticing her?
It's like fucking He-Man.
Like,
everybody always talks about Clark Kent has the worst disguise because he puts on a pair of glasses or takes them off. No, He-Man has the worst disguise because all he got was a tan and a different hair color.
No, but he also grew about 15 sizes. Like, that was a complete different person. He went from scrawny little Adam to He-Man.
No, okay, which He-Man you talking about? Which He-Man you talking about? Because the He-Man in the original series, he was pretty much the same size as Adam, but Adam didn't wear the furry underpants. So no, you stop that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But no, yeah, I don't understand how people don't recognize Starlight. Everybody recognizes Maeve, and Maeve doesn't even wear a mask. So how are people not recognizing Starlight?
I mean, she ain't putting that much extra hair on.
Same with Homelander and A-Train. Like, what the hell?
That was just nuts. But we finally got to see what the 80s date interviews were about, and they're for the deep to find a wife and to help.
Did you see what Ion said?
Oh, man. Where we at? How much Viagra did he take? Oh, he took the power of Grayskull. That's like
I was about to say, he took the whole power sword and the power of Grayskull, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is the ultimate power sword, so to speak. Oh, but man, we're getting to see that the Deep wants to pick the last sexy chick, but Carol was like, "Oh no, not that. That's not the image you were looking for." And his pouty face, not getting that last hot one. Like, I love the faces the Deep makes. Like,
bro, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. That this whole cult thing, he was like, "Well, I thought it was about me picking a wife," and she's like, "Yeah, and you're picking this girl."
You did.
Instead of with like a straight smile on her face. But you knew that was not a request. That was a command.
Oh, that was crazy.
And the Deep, either you going to do that or you not. But if you don't, then you about to get dropped flat on your ass again.
The Deep needs a YouTube channel. He needs to start doing reaction videos. Every face he makes, man, he was cracking me up. Like, his faces are just priceless. I love him.
He's so naive.
Oh, it's amazing. Homelander heads back for a doppelganger mind freak, and you just knew this was coming. Like, he finally tires of the lie and just puts a vicious end to it. But we saw this coming the whole way, didn't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no other way that it could have ended up.
Everybody that gets close to Homelander ends up dying, basically. Like, he's just a sociopath. So, yeah, it's going to be curtains. And Doppelganger, like, he could have went on living his best life if he didn't play such a serious head game. Like, what were you thinking, dude? Like, are you crushing on Homelander for real? Like, what? I mean,
right? Let's see. And that's the same question I asked. Like, did you actually develop feelings for this asshole? Because why would you even put yourself in that position? You saw how he freaked out when Doppelganger couldn't hold the form of Allie in the previous episode for so long, and he had to force himself back into her form to calm Homelander down. Why would you think doing some other character, even doing himself, would be okay? That just didn't make sense to me.
No, that was just nuts. I was like, he was lost in his own feelings or something.
He really was. He had to be. He had to.
Was Homelander killing what looked like himself a metaphor of what's to come? Like, is he headed over the deep end now, you think? Like, between this and what Stormfront told him, is he just going to drop the act and just be openly ruthless now?
And that's the thing with him, too. Like, you always got to question Homelander's motives behind what he does. And it is significant that he killed Doppelganger when Doppelganger was in the form reflecting him. And it's very interesting to think about. And I'm going to tell you to put a pin in that, because if I remember correctly, the last scene of the last episode of this season is very significant into how Homelander sees his mindset and what he wants to accomplish. So remember that. You'll see the connection when it gets there.
Absolutely, man. I'm so into this show. It's getting harder and harder not to keep watching it. But
I almost messaged you in fandom, like, you sure you don't want to do like 3 episodes tonight? But I was like, no, let me stop. Let me stop.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's hard enough to get to, and we're trying to get him in time. But man,
I forgot. Amazon got him booked and busy, man.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll probably have to start. We'll probably start like 15 minutes earlier next time, maybe in a half hour.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down. I'm always home by then.
There you go. Quick trivia. If you know the answers to these and you're still around, write them down below or put them in the chat. What was the name of the last girl interviewed for the Deep? What was the name of the last girl interviewed for the Deep? The one that he was so gaga over. Write down below if you know. Question number 2. When did Huey say was the last year anyone had heard from Liberty? What year did Huey say was the last year anyone had heard from Liberty?
I want to say it was in the 60s sometime, but I honestly don't remember.
That would be incorrect, my lady.
Okay, well, shit. There you go.
Who did Carol say would be the one for the Deep to marry? Who did Carol say it was going to be for the Deep to marry? What was her name?
I don't remember that chick's name either.
Oh, dude, these are good ones.
They only showed her on screen for like 2 minutes. I was more into the same girl that Deep was into.
Oh, of course. And last but not least, the 4th and final question. What name did Carol give their group? What's the name of the group that all those ladies came from? Carol said that they are all in this group. What's the name of their group? If you know those answers, write them down below. And I want to thank everybody for making their way. I want to thank Fandom and AK for being on here with me, having too much fun. We're definitely going to be back here next Tuesday night, breaking down the second to the last 2 episodes. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get 5 and 6 in. And yeah, man, this show's just got me head over heels. So I'm all in. So I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic week. And it only gets better from here until we'll probably be on Saturday. And for sure next Tuesday, you guys be easy.